Good morning, everybody. My name is Keith Volker, and today I'm going to present a presentation of the Elizabethan theater as popular entertainment during Elizabethan times. Specifically, why weren't women allowed to act in Elizabethan theater? Elizabethan theater was a popular entertainment source, but women weren't actors because the Elizabethan society was patriarchal, where men ruled and women were regarded as the weaker sex, which encouraged much sexism. With this sexism, people thought of women differently than they do now and believed they were incapable of doing anything useful or intelligent such as acting. Instead of this, women stayed home and did laundry, they washed dishes, and of course took care of the children while men were out of the house. Women still had jobs that they were allowed to do, like bartenders who delivered beer and other refreshments to the audience during plays, and some women made the clothing for the actors to wear. They also sadly made livings through prostitution and other scandalous jobs. However, confusingly enough, it was actually young men or boys around 13 to 19 years of age who played the female roles when their voice has not yet matured to an adult male voice. They were also skinnier than the grown men for lack of developed muscles and could actually pass off as a female on stage. The costumes were very elaborate. As soon as the character walked on stage, the fabric and color of his clothing would indicate the role of the character he was playing. The character and rank of an actor wearing a Globe Theatre costume made of velvets, furs, silks, or lace would be instantly recognized as a member of the upper class. Cottons and taffeta would indicate a much lower status. Making boy actors play female roles, however, was a bad idea. The white makeup used to pale their skin was lead-based and highly poisonous. The young boy actors were therefore very unhealthy, had a series of multiple unpleasant facial skin diseases, and a high number of them died of lead poisoning. It is hard to imagine that Romeo and Juliet's love scene was played by two males. These roles being played by two men led to some awkward interactions between the two men. It was strange to see a man dressed as a woman falling in love with another man. This also made gender roles very confusing for both the audience and the actors. And in Twelfth Night, when a woman was dressed as a man, it was actually a man who was dressed as a woman who dressed as a man once again. It was very confusing indeed. Even though these actors were played by men, the costumes were so elaborate that the audience was still excited to see them in action. However, the theater itself was amazing. The Globe Theatre was open to audiences in the summer and the performances took place by daylight. The King's Company usually began to play in the month of May. Having a play performed at the Globe Theatre would have been an exciting event. The grounds surrounding the Globe Theatre would have been bustling with people, vendors, and everyone else trying to view the play. There would be vendors at the stalls selling merchandise and refreshments, creating a market day atmosphere. Non-playgoers would flock to the Globe Theatre to go to the market stalls and soak in the holiday-like atmosphere. However, even though women were excluded from acting in the theater, that didn't stop them from showing up at the theater and watching these masterpieces come to life. Something that was strange was that if women could not take care of themselves, why was there a female monarch but no female actors? Well, Queen Elizabeth herself was slightly sexist, and she forbade allowing women to act, thinking that it would be immoral for women to act as fools in the plays. This probably didn't help women obtain the roles that they have longed for. It is not fair for women to have a strong female ruler, but not themselves have the leisure of acting in a play. Honestly, women with a female ruler should have more opportunities to do things that only males were expected to do, like how Elizabeth rules a country. But they did not. Instead, the people were still sexist about women. In light of the fact that women were considered inferior for many years, women were not allowed to act until after the young boys suffered from the sicknesses of eating less, lead poisoning, and even death. They could have saved so many lives if they just let women act. All the bad results of boys acting for female roles eventually got to the people of the time, but it wasn't until 1660 when women were finally allowed to act. This made the interactions among the actors much more sensible and realistic. Women acting in the plays kept from use of white lead-based makeup because women were actually played by women, and there was no need to make them look paler or skinnier. Many of the audience members appreciated this as well, as many may have also hated it. But women were finally allowed to act, and although sexism continued in England from then on, at least women were finally given a chance to play their roles the way they were intended to be. Thank you all so much for watching this presentation. These are all the links that I went to for the essay I wrote to make this presentation. And please tell me what you think. And forgive the use of no pictures, but no matter how many times I tried pasting them onto here, they just wouldn't get pasted on. So, thank you for watching, and farewell.